What's good, guys? Welcome to Chat at the Castle, your favorite new podcast for Disney adults and other fanatics. I'm Ash Jordy.
I'm Mickey's best pal, Jordy. And it's lovely to be back. We've had a bit of a change.
Background change, love it. I'm on this wallpaper.
Yeah.
Enchanted tiki room vibes.
Absolutely. But that's not what we're talking about.
No. Weirdly, yeah. We noticed in our first episode, we talked about our, obviously, 2 weeks in Orlando, which is fantastic. And we kind of briefly touched on Halloween Horror Nights and an Epic Universe. Obviously, talk quite heavily about Disney, which we will do in many future episodes. But we figured we'd just dive a bit deeper into the Universal side of things before we crack on with the rest of the Disney stuff. So we'll probably talk Epic Universe, Halloween Horror Nights, about Studios and Islands of Adventure. They've been around a while, but they're still classics.
Even Volcano Bay.
Volcano Bay, yeah.
This is the thing.
I always forget about that, yeah.
I think this is part of it as well. It's like it's the way I used to think about Universal, was that it was two parts.
Mhm.
So you could, like,
It's 4 now.
if we were going to do a podcast about Orlando, 80% of that would be Walt Disney World, and then 20% would be Universal.
Mhm.
But now there's
It's
Epic
shifting.
and there's Volcano. There's like four parks to talk about. And I just think it's such great experience and alternate experience to what you get at Walt Disney World. Like,
It's a different kind of experience. Isn't it?
I'll always be a Disney guy. Like, if you shifted me to Orlando and said, right, you have to choose, I would always choose Disney. But having that option and the freedom to be able to hop in an Uber and you go to this place that's got 3 unbelievable parks, 1 unbelievable water park with rides that you don't really get at Disney. They're a bit more like white knuckle, but like Velocicoaster. Like, I'll never forget the first time I rode that.
Do you know what else I slept on as well? City Walk.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't mention City Walk. You've got some unbelievable bars and restaurants there, shops. The shopping's pretty phenomenal. That one big Universal shop that kind of
runs into the next
just
one.
goes into every other shop. Yeah, it's phenomenal. The food options and drink options are outside. And during Halloween Horror Nights in particular, they sell bars and all sorts outside of the park on City Walk. So you can be on that long walk from the car to the park or vice versa. There's like bars, mini little stands on the way where you can pick a drink.
I did not realise that.
It's quite cool.
I did not realise
And
that.
they do turkey legs, which is weird. I was a bit like, I don't know how long those turkey legs have been on that stand. I'm sure it's all above board, but I was a bit like, maybe I'll wait till in the park.
I was going to say, did you get one?
No. I'm still here today, so.
Yeah. We've never had a turkey leg from
12 hours. Turkey leg sat in the Orlando heat for 12 hours. I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. But I guess we'll start at the OG.
Studios?
Universal, yeah. Universal Studio. This one,
yeah,
as it was.
I don't have any Universal merch on today. Right.
No, I only got this.
That's great show.
I picked this up and it is representative of.
Is it the opening day, right?
Yeah. It's Universal as we remember it. So it's got confrontation.
Maybe a leg. There we go.
There you go, everyone. It's changed from that now. There's still a few good ones there. What would you say your favourite ride at Universal is?
Currently or ever?
Currently. Well, give me both.
All right. Favorite ride is Studios. Currently, I can't even say Ride Rocket because it's died like while we were there. It was literally being dismantled.
R.I.P. Ride Rocket.
R.I.P. Ride Rocket. 100%. The Mummy is definitely up there. If not, probably the answer currently. I did think this while we were there, actually. Universal Studios, in terms of rides at the moment, it's not that many. It really isn't. You look at the opening day, and there's, actually on opening day there wasn't, but certainly in its heyday, I feel bad to say that because I still love it, but it had a lot of rides.
Yeah.
Whereas now there really isn't that many.
And I'll be honest.
Favorite of all time is yours, by the way. It has to be.
Yeah,
right.
Fair enough. Yeah. It has rides that I'm just not that fussed about going on. For example, Transformers, Fast and Furious, any of the Minion stuff.
Yep.
None of that I'm really fussed by.
Essentials are E.T.
Yeah.
The Mummy.
Yeah.
I think it's Gringotts in Harry Potter now. Tiger Eye. That's a good ride. I like that one.
It is, yeah.
And Men in Black, if you're in the mood, I find. But yeah, outside of that, now with Rip Ride Rocket disappearing as well, there's not much like Jimmy Fallon ride. I don't really care about. It's looking like it needs a bit of love, bless it. You can understand why they've prioritized other things with Volcano Bay.
Or Simpsons as well. I'm not going on that.
Simpsons, which is changing soon. We know that's closing soon. I understand why they're focused on other things at the moment because you've got Epic Universe and Volcano Bay opening in recent years. I think it needs a little bit of love next.
I do too. I think it needs some more rides, some more things that are going to... whether it's just that them franchises don't necessarily appeal to me, I don't know. But Tron I'm not a huge Tron guy, but I always want to go on Tron because the ride's good. I don't get that from
100%,
Transformers. I don't get that
No.
from Fast and Furious. But I'm very much with you. I think the Mummy is one of the most underrated rides in Orlando, I would say, considering when it came out. Like, there's so many great moments. I mean, I am a huge fan of the films, so it could be something to do with it. I just think it's brilliant. I think like the entrance, the queue,
the theming.
There's so many like little surprise moments and stuff. Like I went in 2024, and I forgot about that moment when you're going through and all the soldiers just
pop up.
Completely forgot about that. That literally gave me a jump scare. So and it gets hot.
It does get very hot.
Yeah.
And that first drop is pretty intense as well. And surprise, spoilers, by the way, when you fly backwards, of course. There's some good stuff on that. Transformers is an interesting one because I think the weird thing about Transformers is a great ride in isolation. But if you've been to Islands of Adventure before, it's just a reskin of Spider-Man, probably a more intense version of Spider-Man for Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
But it's essentially, the vehicles are literally the same.
Transformers.
The first part of the ride is literally the same exact track, I believe. And then obviously it alternates a little bit. But that's what threw me, because great ride in isolation. But if you've just come from Islands of Adventure and Spider-Man, you're like, hang on, I'll ride this happened.
That one kind of knocked me sick, which is...
it's definitely more intense.
Don't get massively travel sick, but Simpsons and Transformers are two.
Simpsons,
they're both in the same part.
For travel sickness, for people who suffer from it.
It's so enclosed, the Simpsons ride. And don't get me wrong, though, the Simpsons land itself, walking through Springfield,
incredible thing.
I love
the
it.
restaurants and all that stuff,
The love tester.
The love tester, the Duff bar.
I can't remember what I got, but it wasn't good. It was like second from bottom on it.
I'll just keep going until I get like the number one.
Yeah, keep recording.
But Universal Studios, of course, has Halloween Horror Nights. So come like 6 p.m., it's an entirely different story. It then becomes probably my favorite destination in freaking Orlando at that time of night.
I was about to say as well on that, because I know you said that you love being in Halloween Horror Nights. Just vibing. Universal's a great place to vibe.
Yes.
And not massively worry about parks, but you don't need to, because you've got like me and you have got a shared love of the Blues Brothers.
I
love
in
that.
terms of shows,
Stuntacular is just absolutely incredible. The makeup show, I love that.
We should talk about that actually, because we're right. We have just said it's lacking in rides, but you do think about the shows. You've got Stuntacular, you've got the horror makeup show, you've got the Blues Brothers,
and the parade now.
And I was about to say, a severely underrated parade. The floats in that parade are some of the most intricate, detailed, incredible things I've ever seen.
And the
actors playing
the stark contrast. Like, if there's a parade going on at Disney, you know about it.
Yeah,
because there is people lining the streets
for an hour.
For about an hour prior. We didn't even know this parade was going on.
Yeah,
and the pavement was not. There was no one on it and stuff like that. We were just like, oh, I guess we should stop here for a second.
We found out by essentially being told to move out of the way. We were going to get hit by the parade.
And like that is such a homage to Universal, that parade, because it is like Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, E.T., Jaws, like all of the classics are there.
Ghostbusters.
So that was a really kind of pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed that. I think you're right. It does need some love. It does need some maybe fresh IPs in there. I know that like Pokemon has been floated, but it could go anywhere.
Yeah, it's been floated as part of Islands Adventures. Changes, hasn't it? Because obviously you talk about studios, you got to talk about Islands Adventure as well, where we met out in Orlando. And that's going through some serious changes at the moment as well. Lost Continent's basically being destroyed right now. Or whatever comes next. And there is rumors of it. There's a few rumors in there. There's Pokemon. There's like an anime land being floated.
Yes. Yeah.
But at the same time, when you talk about like saying anime land, Marvel, is it Marvel Island? I think it's called Islands of
Superhero Island.
Superhero Island, something like that. Is obviously probably coming up to its end soon. Now that Disney obviously owned Marvel. And it was kind of a special condition that they were allowed to keep it for so long. They can't update anything there as part of that contract, so it's looking a bit tired. Still be thinking about that as well as Lost Continents. They got a lot of changes to make over in Islands Adventure as well.
For sure. I love islands. Honestly,
as a kid, it was probably as a teenager, it was probably my favorite.
See, this was the thing as well for me. So I went in 2003, and
we're probably
and so I went 2000 and 2003 with my family. And the amount of things when I went back in 2024, after however long, 20 years, 21 years, that in my head were in Universal, but were actually at Islands.
Yes. Yeah,
like Seuss Landing. I thought that was a Universal. It's not. It's at Islands. Like there was loads of stuff like that.
Jurassic Park, River Adventure, I thought Studios.
Yeah, like, honestly, I love that park. Like the more I think about it, I would I definitely would take a day there over a day at Epic right now.
Same, actually, same. Yeah,
I just think the theming is brilliant. I don't know whether it is like Superhero Island and you feel a lot more like Avengers Campus is fantastic, but that's MCU.
yeah.
You're walking into a comic book when you walk
I think
over
that,
to
yeah,
Superhero Island.
I agree. It's much more comic heavy. In fact, I got my first ever comic book from what used to be the comic book store there. Still a bit of a comic book store, but not as much, but it used to be. But you're right, it's much more comics. And because it's almost an unintended consequence of them not being able to update it. It feels really nostalgic.
Yes.
It feels like, what is it, X-Men 94, the recent, it feels like that sort of era.
Yeah.
It feels like 80s, 90s vibe, comic book vibes. Unintended, but cool.
And I think as well, like
Didn't like the whole update though. Did not like it. There's no story, I find.
No, I know. Yeah, we're being hulked now is the story.
Yeah.
Which
So for those who don't know, I don't know if it was always the story. I think that in the early days it changed a little bit, but the main story I know for the years that I went when I was younger was Bruce Banner hated how much damage and hurt he was causing as the Hulk, so decided to launch himself into space. That was the entire story, and then the roller coaster was you being launched into space, and so it was going wrong. I think you were turning it. He was fighting the Hulk as he was being launched, basically.
Right. Yes.
I think that last bit is
Yeah.
the case. But he's freaking out, and he's being launched into space.
You could hear his voice when you got launched.
Yeah. He's like screaming and stuff. It was a great theme, and the build up to the ride as well really played into it. It was great. Don't like the new one where basically we're going to turn you into a Hulk. All right.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough. I agree. I do love the coaster. Bit of a head rattler now, but I do still love it. Like that was the mammoth coaster that I remember as a kid just being like,
yeah, it was the beast. Yeah. I see a lot of memes on TikTok at the moment of people like blacking out at the top of all the like spins and stuff, which is quite funny. Yeah, it can be pretty intense. It was certainly the big one when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
the whole course. Yeah.
And then obviously you've got like Velocicoaster, which for me is probably the best coaster I've ever ridden. I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's insane.
Absolutely, it's in the queue as well, like the animatronics in the queue of the raptors and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Universal absolutely kills its theming, not just on the rides, but in the queues. They really lean into it. You think of the Harry Potter rides, you think of Velocicoaster. What other one were we talking about recently? The Mummy. Like you think about all these rides and any of the Marvel ones.
And also
really lean into the theming for the queues.
And back to what you were saying about the theming of the ride in terms of the storyline of the ride. The storyline of the Mummy ride is fantastic. It's like meta. It's like as they were filming, they
accidentally unleashed it.
Yeah, they accidentally unleashed a real curse of the Mummy. And everyone's kind of downplaying it, and it's like videos of people on set being like, "I just feel a bit weird, like weird stuff
and
keeps happening."
And
same with Velocicoaster, fantastic storyline, and you really grasp it as you're in that queue.
Yeah, you feel it.
You've got Chris Pratt saying like, "No, I don't think this is a good idea.
Like,
I think we should turn around now. Like this is a stupid idea, but I guess we've got to do it."
The creative when it comes to the rides and the storytelling is phenomenal.
Which is nice because I remember Universal always it was like kind of generic. Okay, guys, we made it. Okay, we made it back.
Like every kind of simulator ride is like, good job, guys, you did it. Like,
we wouldn't have been able to do it without you.
They still do that on Fast and Furious. Very much so. It's almost become like a commentary on itself, that ride now. It's become
quite a lot of team members clap as you finish rides as well in Universal, so that's quite fun.
Probably from that era of well done guys, you did it, we couldn't have done it without you. The team members are now still applauding.
I always wonder if it's mandatory, whether they get told that they have to, because like some people do it full on, some people are very half-hearted about it. But
depends how good a job we do.
I appreciate getting applauded as a
just a general. Yeah, good job.
True, very true. Right. Do you want to talk about Horror Nights before we jump over to the new?
As we're going through parks, then you should do Epic. But I'm just thinking, is there on Islands of Adventure, the water rides? Not skip the water rides. They are the stuff of legend.
Oh wow, yeah. Did we go on Rip Ride this time?
No, not Rip Ride. Riptide. No, Ripsaw. Ripsaw Falls. Dudley Do.
Oh yeah.
So,
Dudley Do right. Yeah.
For those who don't know, there's more than two water rides in Universal, but there's two like ones that are pretty renowned for you come out like you've been swimming.
Yeah.
So there's Dudley Do Ride's Ripsaw Falls, and there is Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat Barges. Now, Dudley Do Ride's a log flume. Popeye and Bluto's is rapids, right?
Yeah.
And we went on the rapids. The queue for Dudley Do Right for the first time in my entire life was insane. For some reason, the entire time I'm there, really large queue.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. Not sure why. There's no real answer, but for some reason it was popular. So we didn't go on that. But bilge wrap barges, we went on. Yeah, twice. We stayed on because there was no queue, and got drenched. Came out like I've been swimming. Love those rides.
Yeah,
They're the stuff of legend now, I think.
they absolutely are. We've got to go on them every time.
And again, really quite old IP. Not very relevant to probably a lot of
no,
goers now, but so beloved.
I love that they're so close to each other.
And they're
It's
opposite.
like, yeah, come to this area, get drenched, get dry,
Then crack on.
and then crack on. I think that could have been the part of why we all got ill.
Drinking too much rapid
we
water.
all got drenched, and then we all started going on rides where you get pounded with aircon. So it's like that could have knocked us all a little
Don't know what
bit
you mean.
sick.
It seems like a great idea.
But yeah, honestly, that ride was great. I remember there was that moment when I ducked a water spray and hit Jay in the face.
Yep, classic.
You've got to look alive on them
Sacrifice the
things,
one.
people. Like, you
Yeah.
can't be snoozing.
Yep.
If you've got
You're not to blame but yourself if you get hit by a massive wave.
I mean, fair enough. By that point, I think it was the second run, and I was already drenched, so I probably could have just taken the hit. But got to look alive.
Way more fun.
Got to look alive.
So
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah.
We're coming on to next, aren't we?
Yes.
We did go.
We did one day,
Yeah.
because that's all you're allowed in a 14-day pass right now. In
Changed it in
2020.
26.
Yeah. Soon, like literally 1st of Jan, you can park up between the Universal parks as much as you want. And I understand the premise of limiting to one day. I really do. But I just think when you look at granted, the day we went, it was very busy, but there has been days where it's really been dead.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that they would have lifted that by now.
I think they've overestimated the appeal it has right now, for sure. And I kind of understand why after we went. I do feel it's, and quite rightly, or understandably, not quite rightly, understandably, unfinished.
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot still to do with it. A prime example is the Harry Potter land. We can't remember its name in Epic Universe. There is so many areas and facades of buildings and corners that lead to nowhere that very clearly should have something behind them, whether it's a shop, a restaurant, a ride, whatever it is, or clearly they're preparing for something to put something there, but it's not there yet. Yeah, I found a lot of areas. Berg felt finished. Berg felt very.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think there was room for a lot more to be added to it. Darkmoor, you could say, is probably finished.
On the Harry Potter one, this is where I'll give it a little bit of defense, but it's almost like it's a bit of a to and fro, really, because we did Le Cirque Arcanoe.
Yep.
That was the most mind-bending experience walking into it, because I walked into a little tent.
Yep.
And I just kept walking.
Yeah.
And then
there's
there's a little pre-show, massive TARDIS effect. Well, Harry Potter tent effect, isn't it? So just kept walking into this big room. They do a pre-show, and then they let you into a theatre. I was like, where is this? Because when I'm walking the streets, I can't see it. So maybe the stuff that looks unfinished, there should be a shop there, is actually that cute.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like,
it's almost half.
Is it worth it? Is it worth having? Because unless, like you, who didn't do the show, are going to come away under the impression that, like, why is there so much emptiness?
Well, the thing with that show, I agree that definitely I could see where that was in the land. It's right next to the Ministry of Magic ride. So for those who haven't been, this show and Ministry of Magic, we've both agreed, is one of the most incredible buildings, theming, everything we've ever seen, right? It's just stunning. And it's ginormous, absolutely ginormous. And then that show is right next to it. There's another half of the land that is so unfinished. Like, I remember there's one, it's like a shop front, and to the right of it is what looks like a little alley, or you go in and then you turn a corner, right? So I walked in, turned a corner, and there was just like a little bit and then a brick wall. It looked like something was designed to be in there. And what I think it will be is, I think it'll be a walkway into the next area they add to it in the future. I think, because we know there's acres of space behind these. I reckon that right now is a bricked up walkway to another area in Harry Potter world, in the Harry Potter universe they're creating there, that they've just bricked up for now, because it just felt this does go somewhere. Something's supposed to be here, but it's not here right now. And there was a few areas like that I found.
Yeah. I tell you one thing as well that I did like from that land that I've not actually spoke to you about since. The painting that was talking.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That was pretty good, because I just thought it was like an audio loop.
Yeah.
I'll
To
be-
clarify for those watching and listening, in one of the window displays there is a quite antique-looking painting of a lady, and as you walk past, she's like
She's live.
comments. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's real. It's live,
we were walking past, and
and you can have a conversation.
there was a woman in a red dress, and the portrait said, "Oh, look at you in that red dress. You
Yeah,
look
yeah.
lovely." And I was like, What's just happened?" Like, so because of that, I then turned and I literally watched the full interaction. And she's a fortune teller.
Yeah.
That's what she is. So she can read you a fortune. So little stuff like that, and they have like street performers and stuff like that. But yeah, I do see what you mean.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like
If I had to rank,
bits that are done
if I
are
had to
incredible.
rank the 4 portals, it'd probably be third. Because Super Nintendo Land is not for my brain.
Yeah, I think we should do a bit on that in a sec for sure. Yeah, on the Harry Potter land, I think the bits that are finished are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Truly incredible. But it feels like about 50% of that area to me wasn't finished.
And the ride experience, once that queue isn't 3 hours consistently, is like on par with Rise, I think.
Yes, definitely a stunning ride.
Yeah, like in terms of like that experience from the minute you walk in the queue, like you get in Rise of the Resistance, to the minute you get on the ride and finish the ride, and it was just like I got off the actual ride itself, and I was like, my brain can't comprehend what's just happened. Like the
scale of it.
The screens are so like it's what you needed. You used to need a 3D glasses thing for,
Yes,
and it still wasn't that clear.
yes,
But now it's like 8K, perfect viewing. Like, yeah, honestly,
there was a few of our group that couldn't tell whether they were animatronics or actors. They were that good. The screens, you can't tell if it's a screen or if it's like a physical proper time.
Yeah.
The scale of it is enormous.
Yeah.
Absolutely gigantic. But it does lean into my next big complaint, and I feel bad because this land's taken a bit of bashing on this episode. But I've talked about it being unfinished or needing stuff adding to it. The storytelling, I don't feel is finished or makes sense because it's the land itself is kind of themed in early 1900s, I would say.
It is, yeah.
It is themed in the.
It's set in the Fantastic Beasts world.
Yes,
you find that out in Le Cirque Canoe because
perfect. Okay,
you see
New Commander.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's set in the early 1900s. But then, and spoilers, skip ahead probably 5 minutes if you don't want to hear this. The Ministry of Magic Ride, which is the main attraction of this land, is the Trail of Umbridge.
Yes,
which is modern day. So that to me makes no sense. They don't explain. There's no time travel explained in it, as far as I remember. And if there is, I've missed it, so it's clearly not that clear. So yeah, that bothered me. I don't appreciate.
I don't frankly understand how Umbridge is on trial because she got yeeted away by a load of centaurs, didn't she?
It's a very odd. I mean, if you think about it too much, that ride, it's baffling. It doesn't really make any sense. It's just a good ride.
So I think what they've done is they made a world from Fantastic Beasts, and we're like, that's not enough to draw people in. We're gonna need some like classic Harry Potter.
Yeah, they must have been building it,
but it doesn't make it okay. Like I'm still like, yeah.
I'm trying to think when Fantastic Beasts like concluded and whether they would have planning and building around the same time, and then they realized actually the movies have tanked, but it's too late.
Yeah,
I do wonder.
But then you would just change the show, we were saying that.
What's it in modern day Paris? If you
necessarily need to be in the show,
yeah,
it was just like it's very much his case, and there's an effect in the show which is incredible. The whole floor moves up. And it's like you go into his case, so like the whole floor just like. So there is some insane moments. It's just not finished.
Okay, cool. Right, let's stop bashing that land for a while. Super Nintendo.
We'll bash another one.
Yeah, we're gonna bash another one. Yeah, the Nintendo World, Nintendo Land Portal, whatever you call it, is intense.
Oh man,
it is intense. If you have any form, like I have ADHD, if you have any form of neurodivergence, it will overwhelm you. Even if you don't, it is a lot.
Yeah, and on a busy day like we went, a lot of the portals, like Burke, for example, feels so big, feels so spacious. Yeah. Even the Harry Potter portal, I don't know what we're going to call it. I think it might be called Wizarding World, or it might be called Ministry of Magic, but whatever it's called. Streets but wide, didn't feel claustrophobic.
Yeah.
The second I watched the Super Nintendo,
because it's so enclosed,
I was
gigantic walls either side of you.
Like, yeah,
Very young kids running around screaming.
Yeah, noises like ring, ring, ring.
Yeah,
because
a lot of game
everyone's got
noises.
the wristbands on, so they're hitting the box, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing Nintendo, but it was for
From a
me.
sensory perspective.
It was a lot to take.
Yeah.
Which, and this is I guess the conception of it is, I thought it would be the opposite, and even people when Lou uploaded a video of us on the Mario Kart ride, which again, the most overstimulating thing I've ever been on. They all people in the comments said to me that they think it was scratch their brain in the right way. And my perception was the same. Once I got in there, not the case. I was like, I need to get out. I think we spent the least amount of time in that lab.
Yeah, I just felt like I had to get out.
The Donkey Kong section isn't as bad.
It's cool.
It's it's more spacious.
Incredible.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, the theming of the whole area.
Yeah, the theming is all incredible. The Mario Kart ride queue is incredible. So you like walk through Bowser's Castle, you see carts, you see uniforms. That's all amazing. You can meet Mario and Luigi. That's cool. It was like a 90-minute queue though, so we skipped.
And Toad and Peach.
Yeah, true. And we didn't go on Minecart Madness.
Queue was 3 hours.
Consistently, and when we left the park
and was breaking down.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's why they left that queue, because bear in mind we'd been told about the Harry Potter queue. It'll shut early today, so we quizzed why, and the reason is because it's got such a long queue.
Yeah.
They have to shut it to make sure everyone can. Otherwise, the staff are going to be there until 2 a.m.
Yeah,
which I understand. So fair enough. But when we were leaving the park at 10. The Minecart Madness queue was like 105 minutes or something like that. And I think it was because it had been down all day or a good portion of the day. And that's another thing. The day that we were there, the express pass had sold out.
Yeah.
So that's when you know it's busy.
Yeah.
And that's when it
makes the queues longer.
Makes the queues longer, yeah. So I think that's probably why they had to stay open for that 105-minute queue, because like there's probably lightning lane or express pass.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Super Nintendo World. Once the park's quieting down a bit, or we go on a less busy day, obviously I will venture back in. But it's just
not for me.
Not really for me. However, the other two,
Perk and Darkmoor.
Yeah,
certainly the best two lands.
Yeah,
theming wise, atmosphere wise, vibe wise, rides wise. I mean, I think Monsters Unchained is the best ride in Florida, if not the world. It actually just won the award for best dark ride.
Yeah,
unseating one of the Disney ones for the first time in years. Which Disney ride is it?
Guardians count as a dark ride or not?
I think it is Cosmic Rewind actually. We'll find that out in a sec. But yeah, it just won the award for best dark ride, and it is so deserved. The animatronics, the theming, the story, the queue,
I bet
everything.
I bet it'll be one of the Asian parks. It'll be like
it's in Florida.
Oh right.
It is, yeah. We'll find out what it is. But yeah, genuinely incredible. By far, to me, the best ride I've ever ridden in my entire life. And the queues were so short, 15 minutes,
consistently,
a couple of times. Yeah. The characters that ran around Darkmoor, Igor, incredible. The Burning Blade Tavern, I was a little disappointed with, but in terms of the selection of drinks and food on offer, but the theming of that, incredible. The Werewolf Ride was pretty terrible.
Yeah. That
Curse of the Werewolf.
That wasn't good. It's the comparison is what it is. It's
between Monsters Unchained and that.
Yeah, but not just in the ride itself, because obviously it's a completely different ride, right? I got a rollback on it, and I don't know if that happens every time when it goes around one of the loops. We got up halfway and then rolled back and then went again. So that was really cool. I never experienced that. It felt like the ride was over in 30 seconds.
And the queue wasn't themed at all. Really.
That's where my biggest issue was. How can you go from Monsters Unchained, which was one of the most amazing queues I've ever walked through. Like I wanted one of the first times in queues where I would be like, just go past me.
Yeah. Same
I just want to walk. I just want to look at stuff. So
there is better animatronics in the queue of Monsters Unchained than there is on rides in other parts of Orlando.
Yeah.
Like the dedication, the money that must have been invested purely to keep people entertained in the queue is like unheard of.
Is this Spielberg?
I have no idea.
I'm sure Spielberg had something to do with
It
that.
would make sense because because it's of that epic.
He wanted
scale.
to create, well, either he created the story or something. Let me just
I
double
do
check.
recall something like that. And
Um,
obviously, he's got an affinity with.
and he
Universal.
he had in mind the, let me just have a quick look.
Get our producer on it.
Yeah.
Can we check if Spielberg was involved in Darkmoor, please?
Right, so Steven Spielberg reveals he pitched Monsters Unchained to Epic Universe to rival Disney's Haunted Mansion.
There you go.
So that's what he wanted
Well,
to create.
it definitely not just rivaled it; it could swallow it whole.
Yeah, and it's a homage to all of the
It's the
the
classic
Universal
monsters.
monsters. Yeah. So I think that was, he wanted to create this story that was like, how can I interlink them all into it? And I think he just nailed it.
Because that's an interesting one, actually. So Universal obviously tried to create a MCU of Universal monsters with the Mummy, the
Yeah.
Lovely Wolfman, Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, I believe was the squad. The Mummy didn't do as well as they hoped, and I think maybe because we've seen Wolfman and Invisible Man movies come out recently, we don't think they're part of the same squad, but or the same makers. But I think now with the success of Darkmoor, I should give it another go. I genuinely think they could do something with that. I think if you create that connected universe of those characters, in today's cinematic climate, I think you'd crush it.
I'd watch a film about
If you were
Victoria
right.
Frankenstein.
Yeah,
That-
100%.
She was so cool.
Yep.
Igor was awesome.
Yep.
Um,
Also, the Hunchback of Notre Dame is in Monsters Unchained, which I found out after we wrote it.
whoa, I did not know that.
The first bell that swings above you, Quasimodo's in that. He's the thing that's swinging around inside the bell.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Lance Vignier. And the Mummy is there as well. Incredible ride. But yeah, the werewolf ride and the queue for the werewolf was a massive letdown. Didn't feel worked on at all.
This is, so I will reference the article that I'm currently reading, and it's on thatparkplace.com. An article by Marvin Montanaro. And there's just a quote right at the end of it, which is, I think it sums up why this ride is so good. It wasn't corporate synergy or recycled IP that drove this project. It was Spielberg's boyhood love of classic monster films, Dracula, Frankenstein, The Wolfman, and more, finally realized in theme park form. So
I would agree.
yeah, that's what happens when you've got one person with the vision, somebody with Spielberg's credentials that people will listen to, and that's the end result. And I think I'd love to see more of that happen, where we just trust one person's vision.
Well, look at his initial outing, Jaws.
Yeah.
The most iconic ride. It's not even there anymore, and it's still the most iconic Universal ride of all time.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I would say as well. I'm good. There is one park where it is still somewhere, but I forget where it is.
It's in LA, but it's very different. It's more of a backlot tour. You go past Jaws.
Right. And I think there's one in Asia. I'm sure there is.
We'll check. Found out, by the way, Monsters Unchained unseated, Rise of the Resistance, one of the past few years, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Incredible ride when everything works. Although when I rode it this time, everything except the cannons worked, which is rarity, which is nice.
I think pretty much everything worked when I went on it.
Sometimes you can get a really dodgy ride where nothing works. When everything's firing on all cylinders, it's incredible. It's one of the past few years, and Monsters Unchained, I think, deservedly
dethroned it.
Unseated it.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't really disagree with that. It is incredible. I wish I went on it more than once. I wish I went on it again when you guys went on it, and I went on Curse of the Werewolf.
And Finding Burke.
Yeah.
We didn't go on the rides there.
We did not. No.
They look great. They're probably aimed at a younger audience. But the show we went on probably changed most of our lives, I would say.
Yeah, it was just incredible.
Apparently Jaws is in Universal Japan, by the way.
Okay. In Japan, right.
Please, we need to go.
We need to go. Yeah, Burke is what you would, and this is a perfect example of, I've only seen one How to Train Your Dragon film, the first animated one. I've not seen the live action, I've not seen any of the sequels. Didn't matter.
Yep.
I was still
You're still in there.
I was in, I was amazed, running around, the amount of just random dragon animatronics that they have, and they just have characters randomly. We walked
Vikings
past,
running around.
Yeah, we walked past somewhere.
The retail staff are all in character as well. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Even the stuff we went into, was it called the Mead Hall?
Yeah.
And
like that.
The tapestries were just the theming of the whole thing. And this is somebody who isn't a huge fan of the franchise, right? So, if I was a diehard of that franchise, I would be losing my mind.
Well, one of our group was, weren't they? And they spent 200 quid on two-foot merch. For me, yeah, it felt very similar to what you just read about Steven Spielberg. Burke feels like a creation of passion, of love. Whoever like was in charge of that land, you can tell was in love with every centimeter of that land. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
It's themed. It's like every detail of that land, down to the characters, the products, the merch, the popcorn buckets or sippers, whatever it was, the drinks, the food, like the animatronics, the show. Well, I think we should talk a bit more about the show and the rides. To me, it was just such a complete package, and you could tell it was done with love, like
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Versus some of the others that felt like they were completed for maybe monetary reasons.
Because it's gonna bring in the people.
Because the show, I think so. Again, spoilers if you don't want to know about the How to Train Your Dragon show in Berg. There's one moment in the show, so it's about a grumpy dragon that can't be tamed. Essentially,
Mhm.
Hiccup decides, believes they can train it, and they figure out it's because they've accidentally taken her egg, and she wants her egg back. Well, a part of this, Hiccup arrives on Toothless.
Yeah.
And basically, the room fills with fog, and Toothless, a flying full scale Toothless, flies above you in the audience with Hiccup riding it, lands on the stage, and then flies off again. And that moment,
I've just got
tears.
goosebumps
Yeah, I've got
now.
goosebumps
Like,
now, yeah. There's tears, there's goosebumps, it's a monumental moment.
insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. And I don't see this as a thing, not being a huge fan of the franchise, right? I don't know what somebody would want from Burke.
What more?
I think they'd
Yeah.
want to meet Toothless, right?
Yeah.
You can do that. They'd want to feel like they're flying. You can do that.
Yep.
They want to they want to experience a show with a load of dragons.
You want to
can
meet
do that.
baby dragons? You can do
I
that.
think it just ticked the box of,
Yeah. You want to eat food and drink from it? You can.
yeah,
There's everything.
exactly.
And it's just gorgeous. The lake in the middle, all of it.
Yeah, if I had to pick, rather than, I mean, Celestial Park is also stunning, but if we were going to pick somewhere, like pick a portal where you're just going to vibe and chill,
For the whole day.
I would go to Burke and
Yeah.
just be like, this is
Yeah.
cool.
I immediately like relaxed when I got in there. It was the opposite of Super Nintendo.
Yes, yeah.
Is it Super Nintendo World or Nintendo World?
I think it's Super Nintendo World. But for me, when I'd seen Epic and I knew about all the portals, just because of my lack of love for the franchise, or maybe ignorance was probably a better word, because I've not given it the chance to love it. It was
the one you
the one I was just least bothered about, and it's second on my list.
It's fighting for top for me. Like Darkmoor and Bug go back and forth, but just because I was let down by the Werewolf Ride and the Burning Blade a little bit, I think Bug's my top.
Fair, fair enough.
I think Bug has more.
I think what it is for me,
Darkmoor blew me away.
I said that is perhaps it's because I feel like I've been on everything, and I had that really cool interaction with Igor.
True.
That maybe is leaning me towards it a little bit more as well. Especially when we went through it at night.
Darkmoor at night is pretty.
Yeah.
When the Burning Blade lights up, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was just, and we saw the Burning Blade light up. Like, I was gonna take my phone out and film it, but I was like, what are the chances it's about to light? And it turned around and it just went. I went, oh well, yeah, there we go.
Celestial Park, though, you're right, it's gorgeous, but I found myself wanting. It was missing something for me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a very big empty space.
That damn Constellation carousel sign, that ruined it for me.
That was a really specific hate for you. There's a carousel in Celestial Park that has a sign that like is vertical and horizontal, and I've never seen Jordy angry.
I honestly, it just bothered me. I don't know why it bothered me so much, but I did not like it. Apparently, that carousel is stunning at night.
Well, can imagine.
Like, absolutely stunning. But you're probably right. Yeah, there's not.
Celestial Park, to me, I mean, obviously, there's Stardust Racers, which is one of the best rides I think we've ever ridden.
Yeah.
Incredible ride. It's basically the same feeling you get on Velocicoaster, I find. It's similar like airtime and things like that. Incredible coaster. And we were fortunate we managed to find it with a relatively short queue. Incredible ride. Outside of that, Celestial Park, again, for me, it felt empty.
Yeah.
And I know it's just supposed to be pretty, but so for example, I've stayed in like quite nice hotels before that have like big open areas like by the beach and stuff like that. And that middle bit, it just kind of reminded me of those, like the fountains and the fire and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It felt a bit, it didn't feel like it belonged. When you see the theming of the lands, it didn't feel as cared for. And I know that's deliberate. It's to be a bit of a deep
in terms of the size, though, it's much bigger than any of the portals.
Yeah.
But it feels it.
Yeah.
Right.
So and the statues, to be fair, I love the statues. There's like a statue at each end of Celestial Park. They're gorgeous
Yeah.
and quite monumental. But the bit in the middle for me, you've got a gigantic restaurant, which apparently is quite expensive, and none of us went anywhere near. You've got the carousel.
Yeah.
Then you've got the fountains, which I think dance occasionally with the music. But
They do,
outside that, there's like one big shot. So it feels like a big wasted space.
We also
Couple of food stuff.
we went to Pizza Moon.
The worst pizza I've ever had in my entire life. We walk into Pizza Moon, right? I'm going to direct this to the camera. We walk into Pizza Moon at Epic Universe with Jordy's endorsement. Yo, I've heard from everyone this is the best pizza you'll ever have at a theme park. It's the worst pizza I've had on the planet, not let alone at a theme park.
How many times have you had purple pizza though? How many times have you had purple pizza?
It looked as bad as it tasted. It was like, trash.
Shout at JV TV actually. He told me that it was good. He told me it was good pizza. I didn't mind it, I'll be honest. And I also had a chicken and mushroom pasta thing. Okay. Bit gloopy.
Its best food was okay. Its worst food was the worst food I've ever had. Like tragic.
Yeah.
And the inside, the decor is my worst night. I was in a living hell inside that restaurant.
Yeah.
Hated it.
We sat outside, luckily, didn't we?
This is not a glowing recommendation for Pizza Man.
No, yeah, absolutely not. Did you have any more food in?
Yeah, I also had some other terrible food in Celestial Park, some of the worst I've ever had.
Okay.
It was like some bun,
Tell us about it.
cheese wrapped thing. It was horrendous. I'm trying to think of a good meal I did have at Epic Universe. Darkmoor, I found Burning Blade disappointing. There was virtually nothing.
There was no seating,
yes,
right?
there is. So there was a dessert in Burke that was shaped like a fish. That was good.
Okay.
I think that was the only good food I had there.
Fair enough.
Oh, best food I had at Epic Universe was the Mickey waffles that Jordy brought us for breakfast from his hotel.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
5 boxes of Mickey waffles, and that was the best food I had all day.
Yeah. 5 boxes of soggy waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically me and Jay had the quick service dining plan, and we got to a point where if you watched the last episode, we talked about drinking around the world. My plan was to always get a meal because you get a drink included. Didn't do that, just kept getting rounds of drinks. So then it got to Monday when we went to Epic. We were flying home on Thursday, and I think at that time was it 28 meals or something like that we had. So I spoke to these guys and I was like, right, here we go. Everyone's getting Mickey waffles tomorrow. Let me know what drink you want. So
thank God, because that kept me going.
Yeah.
For that day, yeah.
And I guess one thing while we're talking about drinks, we're talking about food and drink, and Universal's taken a bit of a bashing on the food side right now. But the drinks,
only at Epic. Everywhere else I like it.
Yeah, true. But the drinks, in Universal in the whole, Coca-Cola refill freestyle, pay one price, keep doing it all day. Love that.
That is a massive selling point.
Absolutely.
At Universal, Universal has the refillable cups, which are a massive, massive benefit. It's like $14 or whatever, and then like free refills for the day. Fantastic. Fully agree. Disney should implement it because you get free refills at Disney hotels, and I can't remember if the water parks still do it. But
they used to. Yeah.
At the parks, they don't do it. Universal does, and that is fantastic. However, on the alcoholic side of things, having to add like a tip to every beer I was served, I was paying like $20 a beer. And even as a London, like somebody who lives in London, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Particularly when the food was so bad, I basically had to switch to drinking beer to keep me going. Like,
don't drink beer, mate.
Coca-Cola wasn't filling me like the beer was.
I only say that because I was complaining about having to walk 3 miles to go and have a cigarette.
Also, you queued for about 90 minutes for a Starbucks.
Oh my. Oh. That was the most frustrating thing. There was 7 staff there in there.
So food and drink options at
7.
Epic Universe, not great. Great merch. I think the merch is great. I was disappointed. We're really hammering Epic Universe. Captain Cacao, who I've heard a lot about. He's like the mascot at Epic Universe. Heard a lot about. Seen lots of pictures and merch of him. Thought he'd be a bigger part than he was. He's basically in one corner of one store.
Yeah.
And that's it. He's got like a little chocolate store.
Surely you do meet and greet.
Yeah. There's nothing for Captain Cacao. Oh, it was a weird vibe. Yeah, definitely not my favorite park. Hopefully they make some changes. And when they add more stuff to the park in future, I imagine it'll be great. But again, now they're probably focused on the Universal UK project, which we should do a whole episode about.
Yeah.
But is their focus going to be on that now instead of, as we say, updating studios, updating Islands of Adventure? They probably won't touch Epic Universe for years because it's brand new. Why would you add more stuff now when it's still got a bit of love?
Yeah. Well, word on the street is the next 2 portals have already been decided and planned.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'll say about Epic is amazing, like in terms of how it looks. It feels a bit style over substance
Yeah, I
right
agree.
now.
I agree.
But we
That's the
also,
exact thing. The
yeah,
set design is stunning. The story design lacking. I
yeah.
find.
Uh,
And Celestial Park, the whole thing.
we're speaking about our experience of one
Yeah,
day,
Might have been a bad day.
and the fact that we could. I think the way our brains work, the fact that I knew that was our only day there was already a bit like, ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed, yeah.
So, yeah, room for improvement, but I still would take Islands over it. I would probably go to Epic over Universal unless it was Horror Nights, but I would still put Island over Epic as it stands.
Agreed. Right, should we stop bashing Epic Universe and move on to Halloween Horror Nights?
Yes.
Certainly my one of my great loves. I've loved it for a long time since when I was, I think, 17, first time. Have you ever been before?
No.
This was your first one?
Yeah. This was my maiden voyage into the fog.
Nice. Okay, cool. So this is my first one in a while. Certainly in Florida. So despite like as much as I love it, I've actually been very few times. So I went once when I was 17.
Mhm.
Um, Loved it, despite the fact I hated it. So I was terrified back then. Like as a youngster, I was so scared in every single haunted house we went through. But I fell in love with it. Next time I went was like 2023, something like that.
Oh, right.
In LA.
Recent.
In LA. Yeah, a couple of years, about 2, 3 years ago. In LA.
Okay.
So I went to that one. Great. Yeah, I had a good time. But then this was my return to my first love, Florida. And Halloween Horror Nights there. And yeah, when of the 14 days, no, 16 days we were there, I think I went 12 times.
Yeah. You were there.
Big fan. But cool. How did you find your first time at Halloween Horror Nights? You did it all in one go.
Yeah. And I think that was probably why I wanted to do that as well, with it being my first experience of it. I loved it, man. Like I said, I loved the night we had. You bear in mind with that night, Jay wasn't very well. I mean, I think I was tired, but all that considered, I still had such an amazing night. So to be able to know that I'm going to do it one day potentially without having without that kind of pressure, it'll be great. And I just love, like you said, like I just loved being there.
Yeah.
Just soaking it all up, walking through the scare zone. Had the biggest mozzarella stick I've ever had in my life. That was perfect.
Cheese stick.
Yeah, and what a shout as well. Go and get it early. Don't.
That is a good tip for Halloween Horror Nights. Actually, get food early because, particularly if it's like the stall, the pop-up themed food. Yeah, go early because they get busy. You're looking at an hour.
But I thought you were joking. I genuinely thought you were like, I'm not joking. I thought you were exaggerating.
Yep.
But like,
intense.
It was like longer than the cheese stick. Like,
yeah.
So yeah,
it's longer than some houses.
Death by queue.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just so fun to see that park in a different light that I'd never ever seen it before. And I think this is the thing with Horror Nights, right? Is you get a love for it, and you said you've not been that many times because you have to then agree with yourself and set that I'm gonna go at the same time every year.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you've got to bear in mind that there's Epcot festivals. I'm gonna see the same one every year. I'm gonna not ever see the Christmas stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it's hard for us in the UK to go to that every single year unless you just like fly out for the weekend.
Which I do.
That's crazy talk.
I do like that they've expanded it because when I first went, I think it was like maybe 30th of September to Halloween. It was like 1 month, whereas now this is the earliest they've ever done it, August 29th through to November 2nd. So you've got more of a time period you could go in now.
Yeah.
Than you probably ever before, which is good. You could go in October and get some different stuff, I guess. But yeah, you're right. If you're only going once a year, if you love Halloween Horror Nights, you have to commit to that time period. Yeah. Because we like to go in May as well, occasionally, don't we? So.
Yeah. Which is again really good, better for weather, but it's you don't get. There's nothing really seasonal at that point. You get an Epcot festival.
You got flower garden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
it.
stunning to look at. But anyway, we're talking about Horror Nights.
Yes. So, as I say, Halloween Horror Nights, you've got the 10 haunted houses. I think 5 were IP based and 5 were original stories. You've got 4 scare zones, none of which were IP based, I don't believe. No. Then you've got a show. think there was just the one show this year. Sometimes there's two.
There's a little fountain show on the lake.
Yeah,
isn't
sorry,
there?
yeah, there's the fountain. Yeah, it's not even little, it's massive. So you got the fountain show, and then you've got Nightmare Fuel, which is a circus show. And yeah, you've got scare actors running around. You've got themed food and drink. Yeah, it's a pretty incredible place. We'll do an entire episode dedicated to ranking this year's houses, the 10 houses, I believe.
Yeah, we will. But let me ask you one thing.
Yep.
Tell me your best and your worst.
My best fluctuates.
Yeah.
But I would probably say,
As of time of recording.
as of right now, yeah. El Artista. So El Artista is a Spanish themed. It's a Spanish artist based on a Spanish artist. Completely original story, made up artist, I should say, not real. One of the most gorgeous houses, if not the most gorgeous house I've ever been in.
Done it. Yeah.
Halloween Horror Nights. It's also the wider theme of the entire event, the entire Halloween Horror Nights event this year, certainly in Orlando. Not so sure about Hollywood. I'll double check that, but I believe so. Is based around the El Artista house. And it's just stunning. It's an incredible house. It's really El Artista, but the WWE Wyatt Six house, obviously phenomenal. Terrifier adjacent, also incredible. My lowest fluctuates again, and not sorry because they one of them because it was the worst. It was expectations versus reality.
Yeah.
So Fallout, I think, is my worst, which is disappointing because I love Fallout games and TV show.
Yeah.
Very disappointing house. The feedback was apparently so strong about that it was so disappointing they actually changed a few bits of it, and it got a bit better, but it's still not great. Very controversial opinion. Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not a massive fan of the game in general, which probably biases me. The animatronics are incredible, created by the Jim Henson Company, which is
that's cool.
amazing.
That's cool.
So animatronics, don't really like. Yeah, it's really unfair of me to put it at the bottom. It's because it's one of the best houses in terms of design and story and stuff. But in terms of my love for it, it's lower. Yeah. It's not scary. I didn't find the animatronics were very cool. On that one, you're at a massive risk of timing as well. If you get a badly timed run, you won't get a single scare. If you get a fantastically timed run, you will get a bunch of scares.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm literally the same, mate. Yeah, I had a feeling. If I had to choose a house that wasn't WWE, I would choose El Artista. But I guess I'll talk a little bit about the WWE.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
It's
it's incredibly special. Like, right, see if I can do this. I got about halfway through and my eyes filled up especially when I saw the rocking chair. Just to give a bit of context. So the Wyatt family have been something in WWE for, I don't even know now when Bray first kind of came around. But Bray Wyatt, who was the head of the Wyatt family, sadly passed away, I want to say last year, maybe about 18 months ago.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah. Very suddenly at the peak of his career. He had so many more years to give, and he'd actually written to Universal before he passed, saying that he wanted this to happen.
His life dream was to do a Halloween Horror Nights house.
Yeah. And Bray as well. If anybody isn't familiar with Bray Wyatt, he is very horror orientated. He adds a fiend character with an incredible mask, and so
it's like a split personality demon character.
Yeah, it was just not only great that like my first ever Halloween Horror Nights there was a WWE house, but for it to be about Bray, it was just something that was so beautifully done, terrified and emotional at the same time. The scare actors did a great job, and I just think every WWE superstar that I've seen that's gone in has said the same thing. Like it's so beautifully done, and you have to find a way around doing that, right? You can't just you've got to be very careful because it's not like this is somebody that passed away 20 years ago.
No, it was recent. Yeah.
Very, very recent. So,
and for a bit of added context, well, the guy who led on the creative from the WWE side and has carried on with Bray Wyatt's story in wrestling and the team that he founded and stuff like that is his real life brother, which has an extra layer of emotion to it. So a guy called Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt's real life brother, is the one who kind of is the main character of this house and leads on this house and carried on that legacy at Halloween Horror Nights and in wrestling. That's pretty cool as well. I'm probably allowed them to do it with the sensitivity that they did.
Yeah, and I think Uncle Howdy is the character that Bo Dallas plays. He's the guy in the mask and the hat that you've seen if you've been on it, but I'm familiar with WWE. But that character itself, for the longest time, people thought it was Bray, and it was probably about 4 weeks before Bray actually just went off TV because he wasn't well.
Revealed it.
They revealed that like it wasn't actually. They had a moment where LA Knight of all people was basically saying to him like, "I know that you're Howdy. Like, why are you trying to make it like you're not fooling any of us? All this mystique stuff isn't fooling any of us." And then he's talking to Bray. The lights go out. The lights come back up, and Howdy's in the ring with him as well as Bray. So it's like, oh no, there's actually two of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore around the two of them together.
So to see it carrying on, to see his brother of all people carrying on the legacy, and to be able to walk through it was just incredibly special. So thank you to anybody that helped put that together, because it was amazing.
The most amazing thing about that house I found, because obviously you're a massive WWE fan, particularly of the Wyatts as well, and I'm getting back into it. But the main thing I found in commentary about that house is that people who have never even watched it, aren't fans of it whatsoever, have come away saying that is one of their favorite houses, and they're just blown away by it, which is quite cool to be able to do something so special for people who aren't even fans of that.
It's almost similar. This is the thing. It's almost similar to going back to Monsters Unchained, because it'll be it's Bray's vision. And Howdy's absolutely carrying it on, but it was Bray's vision. It was one man's vision, and they went and built it. And there's two different ones as well. Where obviously talking about Orlando,
there's a different
which
one.
was Firefly Funhouse and stuff like that. Whereas the one in California, I believe, is the Swamp, which can't get my head around, but.
As you said about Monster Unchained, it's you can really tell when things are done with love and passion. So
least favorite is Fallout. Very much similar to you, but the reason that Fallout is my least, like categorically, is because as much as I know I'm not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. Never played the games. Never. Is the film out? I never watched the film.
Yeah.
So
there's a second one coming out.
I knew it existed. I don't know much about the IP. I appreciate the animatronics. I appreciate the set. And despite not being a fan of the franchise, I appreciated it. Fallout, I am a fan of the franchise and didn't appreciate it and was let down by it. And I think that's why it's at the bottom for me. Like, I just wanted to see a vault door roll.
Yep.
That's all I really wanted. I wanted just like
they could have done a lot more
at the start, get all the people into a room, release the vault door, and then let them go through. Just little things like that. But I completely appreciate the creative team at Universal and behind Horror Nights. I've recognised that and have added in more scare actors. And so if I went on it now, and this is the thing about Horror Nights in general, we went right at the start of the season.
Yep.
People are finding the feet. People are trying, like the scare actors are finding the feet. Finding the timing, the rhythm of it is so important.
What works, what doesn't.
Exactly. So it's with a pinch of salt, but at the moment and on the night that I went, one night, did all 10 houses, Fallout was the one where I was just like.
And you're right, all credit to them. One cool thing about Halloween Horror Nights is they will make tweaks and amends as they go through the season, which is pretty interesting. And it must be a monumental effort, so fair play to them,
Absolutely.
Shows are incredible, the scare zones, there's 4 scare zones. There's a really weird cat themed one this year. Highly recommend checking that out if you get a chance.
I like that the cat lady comes out and you actually see her, and it's not just a random bunch of cats. You actually get to see a bit of a wall behind. So that's quite cool.
So in each of the scare zones, they periodically have like a mini show to kind of explain it. Which is quite cool. There's one that's like based on a nightclub. I don't know if that's an official scare zone, but club horror, where you just go and have a bit of a party if you want. There's a DJ and some creatures dancing and things like that. It's pretty cool. And there was like a Roaring Twenties themed one where a heist gone wrong had crashed into a truck transporting some mysterious green fluid that then turned people into these monsters. And that was a cool zone. All these New York accents, like New York 20.
Oh, that was a really creepy one that had a stroller.
People melting and all sorts. That was a creepy one.
That did creep me out.
But again, all these are spread around the park and take over areas of the park. You can spend nights at Halloween Horror Nights, not going to a single house, not see a single show, and still have a really fun night, just vibing in the atmosphere, eating, drinking, whatever, walking around.
You eventually saw the Death Eaters show, didn't you?
Saw part of it, the Death Eaters now come out in Diagon Alley. That's
Voldemort's
one of
voice,
recent years,
which is quite fun. There is a video that's viral-ish about a bunch of guys fighting
Drunk.
drunk.
Using their wands to fight them. Yeah,
Amazing.
that's good.
Absolutely love that.
I still think a few of the rides stay open during Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah,
Also,
Mummy.
you got the Mummy, you've got Gringotts, you've got Men in Black.
E.T. closes, doesn't it?
ET's closed. And I think those are the only ones. Transformer. So you got 4. Yeah. So if you fancy riding them, you can. So yeah, that's what I love about Halloween Horror Nights. But yeah, an entire episode about Universal on our
Yeah, we did it.
Disney more focused podcast.
Yeah, but we got to be
love
fair.
it, man. Yeah, we gotta love it. We gotta give it equal time, particularly as we've just come back from Florida. You gotta talk about it. And Halloween Horror Nights is still in its beginnings. It's still got over a month left to go. So
Exactly.
if anyone's listening, you get a chance to go. Hopefully, you've got a few recommendations.
Yeah, exactly. And let us know in the comments as well. Like, let us know what your favorite house is.
Yeah,
because I'm so intrigued because of how much the houses fluctuate in people's rankings. Like, what's changed? Like,
It's very true.
what has
Yeah.
changed now?
One of my favorite houses, Dolls Play Dead, which is based on like a creepy, like a young girl who like melts her dolls and things like that, and burns them.
Basically, Sid from Toy
Yeah, essentially, yeah. One of my favorites. I saw a TikTok recently where the guy placed it 10th. So it really fluctuates. Maybe it depends on the run you get, the day you get, whatever it is. And so yeah, let us know if you have different opinions. But cheers.
I think we've like ticked off pretty much all the Universal there.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe as well, by the way, people.
Or like just if there's a like button that shows you hated this, great.
Yeah. That as well. Just interact. Just,
Dislike.
But yeah, that is us for this week, I think, for this episode.
What we're talking about next time. We do have a plan.
Not going to commit to it. We're back to Disney next time, and it is our favorite Disney things, like everything: snack, ride, film, hero, villain, character, park, letter. I don't know.
Because we've done something really funny. I've just been told by our producer as well. We missed Volcano Bay, which we'll do a water park.
All right. So Volcano Bay is a water park. It's got the best queue system of all the water parks I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Great big volcano slide.
Giant volcano.
Yeah.
Maybe we should cover it in like a water parks episode or like a best like set episode because the volcano is pretty special.
Yeah. It is.
And again, it was both our first times, wasn't it?
No, I went in 2024.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, so I've been on everything at Volcano Bay.
Maybe we can cover it in our favorites and least favorites episode. If
Maybe.
it reaches either of them.
Yeah, true. Very true. Right. Cool.
See you all.
Bye-bye.